We trying to get paid.
Making money, make it dollar,
We trying to get paid.
making money,
Make it save and invest, stacking up checks. Let's go.
What's going on, everyone? Sal here, back again with another video. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been going for a very long time. I don't know who's even left still watching this channel. All I want to say is that if you saw this video and you clicked on it, I appreciate you. I appreciate you so very much. Now, where have I been? Well, for the last almost year and a half, 2 years, I've been working in the financial space, whether it be for Wells Fargo and then eventually Bank of America in residential as well as commercial lending. And folks, when COVID hit, I got to be honest with you guys, my affiliate money basically dried up. All right. Most of my affiliate sites are in the travel genre, and those websites that were making me very good income to the point where I didn't even have to touch my trading profits, all of a sudden were gone. I mean, they literally went to zero, and I had to go back, and find work. I mean, I had to go back and get back into, having a 9 to 5 and finding an employer who would pay me. Luckily enough, I do have a college degree. I do have an MBA. I do have, education that makes me, I guess, valuable to the financial industry. And I was quickly able to find an employer willing to take me. But that came with a lot of conditions that I really didn't like. And one of them was the fact that I had to stop posting on YouTube because it would affect the conflict, or it would have a conflict of interest basically in what I was doing for the bank. And that would be something that would eventually lead me into a lot of trouble at Bank of America because, I was trading while I was working there. And, who would have thought that when you buy a stock, the company actually gets a list of owners of shares. Now, I had kind of knew that, but I thought it would be like maybe a quarterly thing. But literally, when you buy a stock, the company actually gets like, hey, this person purchased the stock. And what the bank was doing was cross-checking the owners of shares against the employees who worked at the bank. So I was getting in trouble at Bank of America for trading. I had to hide my YouTube page for a while there. Those of you guys who remember, you could not see my YouTube page for several months. And I lost quite a bit of money doing that as well too, because the affiliate links that I use, right, to make me money on YouTube, could not be clicked. Granted, the money, was needed that I was working for, and provided me a lot of support, a lot of stability when I really needed it. I appreciate the people that I work with, but at the end of the day, man, I love my freedom more. And when the time came to go back into the office, it just wasn't going to be for me. I mean, one of the reasons why I decided to go back and get a 9 to 5 was the fact that I could do it from home. So when the pressure came on to like, hey, we're coming back into the office, vaccinated or unvaccinated, you're coming back in. It was like, fuck you, man. Like, I've gone many years without a 9 to 5. I'm not going to, go back into, that office environment, man. Like it was just like, I didn't want to go back into the fake smiles, the fake, those of you guys who work in these offices, you know what you deal with. Like just the office bullshit, man. Waking up, the commute, I just didn't want to do that anymore. My affiliate sites were rebounding as well to a point where, the money that I've been making with doing my Iron Condor strategy, I don't mind, picking the pieces or picking a little bit off of that to kind of float myself until things really pop back up to 100%. And that requires me just, reinvesting some of the income that I have made into advertising and whatnot. Because although airline traffic is certainly bounced back, I wouldn't say it's where it was before. I wouldn't say it is as aggressive as where it was before, but that's where I've been, folks. I mean, that's where I've been, and as you can see here, it's been a tough day for me. I was up almost 1,300, 1,400 so far in this trade, but we've had a tough couple days here, tough couple days of trading. In fact, if we go to the hourly, I'll show you here. This is the first positive 2 hours of trading, going back to last week, so it's been a straight down sell off for many hours, many days now. And, you know, all in all, basically what I want to get to is I want to let you guys know I'm going to be making content again. All right. I'm a free agent. I'm going to be doing something really exciting here in the next couple of days. I'm changing industries completely because at the end of the day, as I mentioned, the income still isn't back yet 100%, and I need something that's going to drive income while my strategy is still doing what it's going to do, which is continue to make me money month after month after month. You guys who are watching me for the first time, uh, you don't know that I do an iron condor strategy, which is where I basically bet on both sides of the trade, up and down. I go out as far as 90 to 120 days, again depending on the scenario, and I will manage that trade anywhere between 50 to 75%, and then do it all over again. Uh, this works. I haven't had a losing trade, uh, since COVID. I have not had a losing trade since COVID. COVID was really scary because that sell off was so huge. I took a loss on that because I knew, or it just felt like my put side was going to get tapped, and eventually did, but bounced back because the Fed did what they did. But I've learned my lessons so far since then, and now it's just really about being patient and letting the market do its thing. But at the end of the day, we've got inflation risk ahead of us. We've got higher interest rates that are being enacted. Right now we have rates for real estate at 5%. You know, touching mid fives depending on the neighborhood and state you live in. So things are getting tight, guys. Things are getting really, really tight. And I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and go into the trucking industry because I can't identify any other business that I can go into that allow me to make money doing something that's relatively easy to do, but more importantly, just allow me just to buy time. And that's what I need right now. I don't need to be sitting at home doing nothing. I need to be doing something. And I've figured that that's something I want to do. And I want to do it aggressively to make, some money, possibly even get into it as a business. We'll see. I'm still learning a lot about the industry, but I want to take you on that ride with me. And those of you guys who are truck drivers, man, any help or assistance you can give me would be so much appreciated. This is going to be trading and trucking, man. This is going to be trading and trucking. What I've learned so far about the trucking industry is the fact that a lot of truck drivers are very poor stewards of their finances. Very, very poor stewards of finances. I was actually quite shocked. There are some guys who do it really well, but there are a lot of guys who do not manage their money properly as truck drivers, you know, which is surprising considering the amount of money a lot of these truck drivers who own their own trucks and drive for these many different organizations make. Some of these guys, are making 20,000 plus a month. And that's something I learned at Bank of America is that, these guys who bank with Bank of America, now those are the top tier. These are guys who are making well over $250,000 a year. And that's revenue. That's not net. That's revenue. And they've been in business for over 2 years on their own. And if you meet that criteria and you got a great bank, you got a great business credit score, a great personal credit score, you can do business with Bank of America. And these guys are walking into the bank and they're getting lines of credit for $100,000 to go out and, buy a gently used truck, repair it like new, and go out and make a killing, right? Go out and make a killing, sell the truck, come back and do it all over again. Some of these guys are borrowing that kind of money and they're paying for these trailers. And these trailers are, whether it be these quote unquote reefer trailers or dry van trailers, and they're leasing them to different companies that are having trouble finding them, and they're literally making money on money. They're buying these, you know, assets and making money off the money that we are borrowing them, and they turn around and buy these things. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible what I've seen and what I've experienced. You got guys who are still making money flipping properties, whether it's purchasing these properties in the South, um, using lines of credit to repair these homes and then turn around and sell them. Because at the end of the day, rates are up, but certain markets are just still going to be hot, man. They're still going to be hot. There's always going to be a family out there that needs a place to live, and that's got the capital to pay. Although now prices aren't as exorbitant as they were before. All right. So what are we looking at right now on the screen? We're just looking at again the SPX. For those of you guys who don't know, you probably trade the SPY. Same, relatively the same thing. Again, the SPX is just 10x the size, but very, very similar products. The only thing is that SPX does resolve itself in cash at the end of its option life. It does expire in cash, unlike SPY. Okay, but this is a sign right here that things just aren't going to be very easy, for the next couple months, guys. I mean, we look here. We're at the end of the day, we're still beneath the 10 moving average. I believe this is the 10, correct? It should be 10. Yes, this is the 10 moving average. So, when we're below the 10-month moving average, that says that we're selling off. And we're going to likely continue to sell off. All right. Last month was a fake out. But this is a clear indication, particularly if we break through that 4130 or 413 here on the SPY. I mean, this could get relatively rough. This could get relatively rough. Uh, but I would definitely be selling calls here because there's really nothing. There's nothing in the future that I can see that we're going to be testing our recent highs. I just don't see it, particularly with the interest rate environment we're in, inflation environment we're in, the fact that we've got a lot of companies that are being forced now to raise pay for a lot of their workers. We've got a resurgence of union activity now among workers in America, where you're just, starting to see people say, I want more. And there's nothing wrong with that. I support that 100%. But we've got to adjust as traders to understand that those days of just up, up, up are no longer going to be like that. They're no longer going to be like that. Now, I know the Federal Reserve is going to do whatever they can to make sure that, at the end of the day, the dollar continues to lose value over time. Hard assets continue to increase in value over time because that's just the American way, right? So you still got to invest in hard assets. You still got to invest in stocks that generate real revenue. The days of those stocks that are all about promise and hopes and dreams, those are going to go by the wayside right now. Now you got to go back and really, become a stock picker. You got to really understand companies that are out here really generating alpha. You know, companies that work in high interest rate environments, which are your energy companies, those would be your utilities, your railroads, your transportation, which getting hit by those high energy prices, but will, because of those high energy prices, be making the investments necessary to transition into those cleaner energy fuels, and you're seeing some big moves happening in that space as well. Look, guys, I just want to again reintroduce myself to you guys, and I want to thank you for watching. If you're still watching this video, I appreciate you again. This got a lot more content to be generating. Again, I'm going to my trucking school tomorrow. I'm going to be excited to be making a video about my experiences there and walking you guys through the process of me trading, as well as becoming a truck driver, man, because this is crazy. But I'm excited because I take everything, you know, 100%. I put 100% in everything I do. And I'm ready to grab the reins of this and do it safely, do it responsibly. But more importantly, just generate some income while I'm doing what I can to, make myself rich, man. Like, make myself rich on the long term. This is a journey. This is not a sprint. For those of you guys who have really dedicated yourself to trading and investing, you understand that this is not an overnight thing, man. Trust me. I want to wake up tomorrow and find a strategy that makes me a millionaire within the next 12 months. But every time I've tried to do that, I've taken on losses, and I've ended up having to start over, or end up with an account that's half the size of what I had before, and it takes money to put myself back in line. The best way to trade is just to play it smart, play it safe, and just bat singles, bat doubles. If you're lucky to get a triple, great, but focus on being a 350 hitter, a 400 hitter. Fuck the home runs. You know what I'm saying? I'm Ichiro. I'm Ichiro with this shit. I'm not Mark McGuire. I'm not Barry Bonds. I'm not going to hit it out of the park with these option plays, like some people will like to mislead you to believe that they're doing. Responsible trading is like playing the game of baseball like Ichiro, man. You know what I'm saying? Another baseball player from the 70s, or no, early 80s, early 90s is trying to come in my head, but I can't remember him right now. Small black dude who was really good with stealing bases and getting on base. But that's what trading is, man. Just focusing on getting on base, being a contributor, you know, just racking up dollars and cents here and there as you can get it over a period of 10, 15, 20, 25 years, so that now every trade, it it pays for itself, because it's like a snowball. It really is a snowball effect as you continue to manage these trades, and you're watching your account get bigger and bigger and bigger because you're trading responsibly. You know, focusing on one or two products, at a time. Doing one or two trades a month now is just a responsible way to trade, man, because I want to spend my day doing other things. Not saying that some of these systems and products that I pushed before don't work, because they certainly do work. Certainly do work. But I don't want to be on the computer all day. I want to be able to do other things, generate, you know, income doing other things that I know if I do A plus B plus C, it's going to, what I'm saying, it's going to equal D, and I'm going to get what's due to me. And plus, I get to go see some other shit and go, experience and learn some other things possibly build a business out of it. So I know it can come off weird of what I'm looking to do, but I'm excited about the future, guys. I'm excited. Again, I want to thank everybody who I worked with at Bank of America, who I worked with at Wells Fargo. All of them were good people for the most part. Some of those of you who are assholes, you know who you are. But man, some of the entrepreneurs that I work with, guys who had come from nothing, man. I mean nothing, and were able to make themselves millionaires by just again paying their bills on time, building business credit, generating revenue with whatever business they were in. Landscaping companies, trucking companies, cabinet making companies, floor installers, roof installers. I mean, there is a lot of ways to get rich in America. HVAC companies. There was a guy who all he does is oh man, he lays asphalt on driveways. This guy was making $1 million a year laying asphalt. Laying asphalt. Don't get me wrong, he had a nice sized business, but it just goes to show you like there's so many ways to make money in America. And if you don't have or have thought about possibly trying to get yourself in a business, I would really suggest you do because I have never, ever thought about entrepreneurship the way I have since working in the financial industry, particularly in commercial lending, where you see these guys who are, again, they start with nothing, guys, $10,000, $20,000 equipment, and just with dedication, treating their customers right, getting referrals, they are building their 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 in revenue. Most of these businesses in America below 400,000 a year, and these guys are making and having a great living. Making and having a great living. They've got 4 or 5 employees. Yes, they have turnover, but they replace guys just as fast as they bring guys in or guys walk out, and they're just doing good business. They're just doing good business, and the bank will always lend to you. The bank will always lend to an entrepreneur who pays the bank back on time on a regularly set schedule. They can always come back for more and more and more, buy more equipment, make more investments to generate more revenue. So again, I'm excited about this journey, guys. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, for pressing like on this video. It's a lot more to come. I'm not going to hold you any longer. You know what the strategy is. We've got a lot more tickers to share over the next couple of days. I'm going to start now packing because I got to get ready to go out to Springfield and be a part of an exciting company out there to learn a lot about the trucking industry one day at a time. So talk to you guys then. Until then, take care, trade well.